Good morning, members. I'm Patricia Kamwine, presenting the briefing paper on the course module of Logistics and Supply Chain Management under the course Postgraduate in Procurement and Supply Chain Management. The mini case study scenario theme, Application of Supply Chain. Philosophy in crisis times is redesigning resilience in supply chains. We are required to illustrate how the Russian invasion of Ukraine has and continues to affect your organization, and to design and justify any 5 supply chain management strategies that the organization can implement to shield or reduce exposure of the effects of the Russian invasion of Ukraine to the organization. This briefing paper focuses on how the Russian invasion of Ukraine has and is continuing to affect Uganda as our case study, and the supply chain management strategies that Uganda can implement to shield or reduce exposure of the effects of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. In 2021, Russia started a large-scale military build-up near the border with eastern Ukraine, generating greater concern in Ukraine, Europe, and across the world. The Russian invasion of Ukraine started on 24 February 2022, and the world was and is still recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic, which slowed down the global economy. The Russian invasion of Ukraine has additionally affected Uganda's economy. The objectives of this briefing paper are to illustrate how the Russian invasion of Ukraine has continued to affect Uganda as a country, and to also design and justify the supply chain management strategies that Uganda can implement to shield or reduce exposure of the effects of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. How has the Russian invasion of Ukraine affected Uganda as a country? Russia and Ukraine are the major exporters of wheat, fertilizers, minerals, and many more. The war between the two countries has caused critical disruption of African imports, and this has affected the promising economies of African countries, including Uganda. One of the effects of the invasion of Ukraine to Uganda are forex fluctuations and inflation. According to the Monetary Policy Statement for July 2022 Bank of Uganda, inflation continues to rise, brought about by the external from higher global food and energy prices due to continued global production and distribution challenges caused by the ongoing armed conflict in Europe between Russia and Ukraine. Thank you. I call upon my colleague Jacinta to continue.
Thank you so much, Patricia. I'm called as Jacinta. I'm continuing on how the Russian invasion of Ukraine has affected Uganda as a country. There has been a reduction in the volume for the imports and exports due to issued sanctions by the Western countries of United States, European Union, and Canada. And this conflict has continued to disrupt the flow and supply of exports like coffee and tobacco, imports such as fuel, and foodstuffs like wheat, from which we bake bread, make chapati, agricultural products such as fertilizers, hence affecting Uganda's gross domestic product, reducing the purchasing capacity of individuals and the consumption rate, respectively. There is a point of also price for the imports and exports. The prices of imports and exports hit their highest levels since March 2022. And considering that Uganda is one of the dependents on Russia and Ukraine for some imports. For instance, the rising oil prices have led to increase in petroleum products, and this has caused a ripple effect on almost everything in the market. Consumers have since lost their purchasing power, and this has led to a decline in demand. For exports, due to the issued sanctions, there has been a limitation to transportation and supply of some of the products like tobacco and coffee. Thank you so much. Over to my colleague, Emma.
Thank you very much. I'm called Dr. Emmanuel. I'm taking you through the effects and the effects of the Russian-Ukraine conflict. We have disruption of supply chains. Uganda has been greatly affected by that war, whereby its supply chain has been delayed. Flow of so many other activities that take place, such as purchasing, material handling, greatly affected. For example, the trucks that have been coming in are greatly reduced due to the conflict, because we all know we import oil from these countries, we import seeds, fertilizers, and grains, all these from these countries. We also have global logistics has been disrupted, especially Uganda's, whereby logistics is the process of planning and executing the best transportation mode of goods. Those have been disrupted right away from the border where we pick our goods from as we import them from the other countries to Uganda. This has greatly affected and impacted the prices of goods and services. You all know how much the rate of oil is right now, and the fertilizers and grains, all these have been greatly affected. Therefore, we can design some strategies as my colleagues are going to take us into part B. Thank you very much. I call upon Jovan to take over.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. In our briefing paper, we came up with the strategies that Uganda can use to overcome the ripple effects of Russian invasion of Ukraine. And one of the strategies is Uganda considering alternative suppliers for the key commodities she imports from the fighting countries. For instance, petroleum products that are imported from Ukraine and Russia, Uganda can opt for other alternatives like Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait to ensure continuity and steady supply flow. For wheat, grains, and bioproducts, Uganda can consider other alternatives like South Africa, Tanzania, and Liberia to ensure there is a stable supply chain for such products. Another strategy, Uganda can consider supply chain redesign. Uganda can look into the various shipping alternatives, for instance, by avoiding the key shipping points that are directly affiliated to the fighting countries. And by considering e-commerce, this will build flexibility and resilience that will enable Uganda to overcome such political catastrophes. I beg to submit. Let me call upon my colleague, Nakauki Maria, to continue with the strategies.
Thank you so much, Devon. My name is Nakauchi Mariam Luyinda. I'm also taking you through the strategies. One of them is building an adaptive and agile supply chain with rapid planning and integrated production. Uganda should get a better aligning plan with manufacturing, driving greater operational speed and flexibility. A fully integrated solution still seems beyond the reach of some companies, but this should be the way to go and should include adaptability to new markets, change of technologies, use of online supply chain systems, and all sorts of modern trading terms. Another strategy is creating collaborative supply relationships. Supplier relationship management can guide Uganda on how to approach evaluating vendors that supply goods, materials, and services. This involves aligning suppliers to deliver on key goals that will drive mutual value and ensure that their requests remain relevant and focused to function effectively. The last strategy is using buffer and inventory management techniques along the supply chain management. Here, Uganda should come up with bulk stock to prepare the economy for unexpected surge, such as the riots and wars in this supply chain. By using this strategy, it will help Uganda to absorb the impact of unexpected catastrophes like the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which is affecting the gold supply chain. Let me call upon my colleague Patricia to summarize it all and also give us the conclusion.
Thank you, members. In conclusion, we note that the Russian invasion of Ukraine has put unprecedented pressure on supply chains, impacting global trade and logistics patterns, leading to shortages and soaring energy prices, increased transport costs world over, including Uganda. And references from where we got our information are as listed here and where we did our research. Thank you so much.